This week on Fashion Fridays. Champagne taste, McDonald's ass budget. Honestly, I love cardigans so much. She gave up on me and hello and welcome home. We are here to obviously fashion talk about some fashion. We are going to be doing a little bit of shopping today, but yeah, a quick announcement. My computer, my laptop, she's broken. She is broken. I think it's because I started editing videos on there, and apparently if you don't have like a good processor or something like that, then it can really like deteriorate your computer. And I think that's exactly what happened because, ooh, girl, it barely even turned on. So I have to get a new computer. So for drawing videos, that's gonna be a minute until I get a new computer and get the new whatever software I can get to start drawing again. So we're gonna be doing a lot more fashion talks, that kind of thing, maybe something else if I can come up with something. But yes, don't worry, we're still gonna have Friday videos, but that's why I didn't have any videos out last week. Not the film talks on Wednesdays. Those are good because I don't need to draw, I just need to edit. So yeah, it's a bit, what can you do, you know, life happens. So we're doing a little shopping, but before we do that, we do obviously have some fashion news for you. So I'll send it over there to Hannah with no lipstick. Hello and welcome to the fashion news desk. I am Hannah without lipstick, and I'm here to talk to you about fashion news. But before we do that, I want to talk to you about another bit of news that is not fashion related, but still something that I feel needs to be reported. So I want to talk to you about Breonna Taylor and the charges, that were recently laid in her case. I just want to make a quick disclaimer that at the time I am filming this is the most recent and up-to-date information. So should any updates or anything come out by the time this video comes out and I don't speak on it, well, that is why. So Breonna Taylor, for those of you who don't know, I just want to kind of go through, tell the story, tell the facts, just so everybody is on the same page. And these are all things I'm getting from the Washington Post, and I can link the article below just in case you want to read through it on your own. So on March 13th, the police forcefully entered Breonna's home on a no-knock drug search warrant. So this is something that happened later at night. So Breonna's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, thought that they were being robbed. So as the police are entering the home, he fired once at the doorway, and he did hit an officer once in the leg. But the police's response, the police squad's response was to fire more than 20 times into the apartment, killing Breonna Taylor, who was hit more than 8 times. So make no mistake, this was a murder. So for no-knock search warrants, the police obviously do not have to announce themselves. So you can see why if you're just sleeping in your bed or chilling in your bed and you hear, I don't really think that police are going to be that quiet when they're trying to bust in a place, you know. So you hear all that outside your door, I can understand why you might think that a robbery might be going down, you know. So although the police were fired at once, we still have to look at that ratio. Fired at once versus firing blindly into an apartment more than 20 times. So, and just another note is that Breonna Taylor wasn't even she wasn't even the person that they were looking for, and neither was her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker. The two main suspects, the people that were suspected of selling the drugs they were looking for, lived about 10 miles away from Breonna's home. The only reason they were there is because they suspected that she was receiving drug shipments there. So they had no proof of anything. This was all suspicions that had them busting into her home, you know. And what makes me I guess just flat out just say that this was a killing on the police's part is that to fire 20 times into an apartment blindly, they knew at least that one person was home. And whether they knew Breonna was home or not, I'm not sure. But the point is, to fire 20 times blindly into somebody's home you have to know to a certain extent the danger that you are putting people's lives in. So that means they knew. This is endangerment. They knew that they could be putting people's lives in danger. To fire 20 times, that many times, I mean, at that point, that's knowing that you could kill somebody. And they still chose to fire that many times into the apartment. You know, this is what happens when the police decide that they don't care about the lives of the people who could be in that situation with them. They didn't care about Breonna. You know, whether they knew she was there or not, it doesn't matter, because the point is they knew that it was a possibility. They knew that they are firing more than 20 rounds. You don't do that and think, no one's gonna get hurt, this is gonna go fine, you know. So to know all that and to fire that many times, we're not going to call that an accident. That's what I'm saying. We are not going to call that an accident. And I'm not just bringing up the, you know, I'm making emphasis on the fact that this is a murder, that her case should be handled and treated like a murder trial, a murder case. And I bring that up because, aside from the fact that it's true, I bring that up because of the recent charges that were laid in her case. So of the 3 officers involved, only one of them was charged, and he was charged with 3 counts of felony wanton endangerment for blindly firing 10 shots into Taylor's home. So basically he was charged for all the shots that didn't hit Breonna. He was charged for any shot that maybe went into the drywall, the shot that maybe hit the couch, maybe something hit a window. That's what this man is being charged for. So this, instead of a murder case, what we are looking at, I mean, this is a property damage case. This is essentially the charges that are being laid against this man. A woman is dead, and we are seeing charges being laid for all the damages done to the apartment that she was living in. So you can see why this is a problem. You can see why something is not adding up here. And that is obviously when we have to start talking about racism in our police system, racism in our justice system, you know. And I bring this up because I don't want to be silent about it. I understand I'm not a political channel, but at the end of the day, I am Black, if you didn't know, and I'm also a woman. So sometimes we might be considered getting a little political on here because these are things that affect me, and staying silent on them helps nobody. You know, history has proven silence only helps the abusers and the oppressors, and we are not here to do that in this house. No sir, as I said before, we value life in this house. So this is why I feel the need to speak on it, because this is something that could affect people who might be members of this household, aka members of this channel. And even if it might not directly affect you as somebody in that community, it should still concern you. It should still concern you because, you know, the justice system, the police system, you should be worried that they are so biased towards certain people that they are going to be laying charges like this, that they are basically saying that it's okay to murder somebody and get away with it in a sense. Because even though he's being charged, he's not being charged for what he actually did. It is not okay for them to just be signaling to a whole community that their lives do not matter. So you should be worried about this whether you're in the Black community or not. Okay? And the other reason I bring it up, because I want everybody to know that this is important, that this is not okay. And I also bring it up to educate you so that you know what's going on, so that nobody down the line tries to gloss over this and say, oh, it happened like ABC. No, because you know the truth, because you heard it. And also, what can we do to help? You know, I'm sure a lot of you who either knew about what was going on kind of wondered themselves, because that was my first thought. I was just, aside from being outraged and just sad about it, you know, I just wanted to, I don't even know, become a lawyer in that instant and change the verdict, or a judge or something, like, you know. And maybe if those who didn't know and are just learning now, you know, you still might be asking yourself, okay, but what can I do? And that is also what I wanted to talk to you about. So things that you can do, I just have a small little list here, and that is to continue to educate, or start educating yourself and others, because that is where it starts. Understanding why the police and legal / justice system is the way it is. So the way that it allows what should be a murder case to basically become a property damage case, okay? You know, that just, there are layers. There's a lot that went you know, that went into that went into making the justice system the way it is, that went into making the police system the way it is. And the more you know, the more it helps, okay? And also just to share with others. Post it on your story, talk to your family members about it. This can be hard conversations to have, but that doesn't mean that they aren't important or necessary. And another thing you can do is just speaking out in general. You know, this is the age of the internet. You don't even have to leave your house. Email, tweet at, oh my gosh, send letters if you want to do that. Phone calls to your official city officials, representatives, to people in the police community, you know, whether that be commissioners, that kind of thing. And it can be globally, it can be in your own community, but the point is, let them know, you know, let them know that you as a community, that yourself, and if you have a lot of people messaging them, that sends a message that people are aware that they aren't okay with what's going on. You know, it puts them in the hot seat. And I know it might not seem like it, because as we've seen, just the city officials and politicians and lawmakers continue to not care, but at the end of the day, still matters. Speaking up still matters. Sending a message, it still matters. Protest if you're able to, if you're in an area where they are, or maybe you even want to organize your own, you know. And if you aren't able to do that, you know, what can you do to support and protect the people that are going out there to protest? Can you hand out food or water? They have donations for bail funds for the people that have been arrested. Are you able to maybe open your home to the people who are currently protesting if you live in an area that is hosting events like that? Last but not least, I guess donating again, but there's more like specific organizations, so I will link those below. And supporting Black communities, you know, can you buy Black? You know, what kind of, maybe, I don't know, make the product switch. Are there, maybe you want to switch your soap or your skincare or clothing or maybe hair care, that kind of thing. So just all things for you to consider. You know, I understand that not everybody is in a position to give money, but just still know that there are things you can do. And last but definitely not least, what you do matters. Don't feel like you're alone. You know, you have everybody in this household who cares. You know, I would hope if you're on my channel watching my stuff that you understand why this is important and that you care. You know, in this house we have each other's back, so don't feel like you're alone when you're speaking out and maybe you feel like it's not making a difference or no one's listening. It matters, and it matters to everybody, and you have the support of obviously the people in this house and the people who are in the Black community, people who are in BLM. It matters. So just remember that. And obviously, you know, like sorry, I don't want to make this video too long, but like sorry, it's just hard to talk about, you know, because even as I'm talking about it now, I'm just again thinking, just the fact that we even have to have this conversation is just upsetting, you know. But at the end of the day, try to stay positive. I know I was like debating if I should even say it, because like I just feel like so gross saying try to be positive, especially with everything that's been happening in 2020. But shoot, I still think it's important. I still think it matters, and I hope that, I don't know, maybe coming to my channel to relax a bit can help you release some of the stress and maybe, I don't know, relax a bit, maybe laugh a little bit, you know. But just staying positive. It's important to keep updated and to know what's going on, but don't let it depress you, okay? There are people fighting day in and day out, and changes are being made, and understand that change will come. Like I said, you push people too far, they start pushing back, as we've seen in history, baby. You can only push somebody so far. So I'm just saying, never say never. That's Beebs. Okay, that kind of trailed off at the end, but I hope you are getting the general message of what I'm trying to say here. So on to the, I guess, main part of this. I didn't want to have my glasses on for that. I don't know, I felt like maybe that was disrespectful, so. But they can come on for this part. We were talking about sustainable and ethical fashion. Ooh. Okay, so what is it? Sustainable, ethical fashion. It is an approach towards sourcing, manufacturing, designing clothes that maximize the benefits to the fashion industry, society, and minimizing impacts on the environment. So sustainable, ethical, they kind of go hand in hand, but sustainable, to me at least, is more focusing on the environment. Is it a viable option for the environment? Are we gonna is this process or way of doing businesses one that can be supported by our Mother Earth here and the animals and the resources that are present? And when we talk about ethics, that's more rights and treatments of things or ways of doing things. You know, obviously the more ethics part of it, is it right, is it wrong, is it lawful? So you get into things like preventing the exploitation of workers or the abuse working conditions of, you know, the workers in the fashion industry. Fair trade, we talk about the treatment of animals, you know, and I guess ethics can still talk about treatment of the earth, you know, because we live on here, but we still got to be respectful, you know. It's still, our earth is still our home. You wouldn't want somebody going into your home and just tearing that place up. So it's the same thing with the earth, right? So just a brief overview. When I say sustainable, when I say ethical, this is what I'm talking about. So, you know, obviously it's important because we only have one earth. She is in some trouble right now. So it's the little things that we can do that are going to help. And that includes the clothes on our body. Okay, so that can be things that just like maybe using what you have, you know. As this goes on and I get my computer fixed, we're going to be starting to do like a DIY series where I'm just going to take old clothes that I have and turn it into something new so I can get a second life out of it. It can be simple stuff like that. It can be thrifting, secondhand or vintage. They have rent, lease, or clothing swaps, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, doing what you can to minimize the production of clothes. But also, you know, production of clothes doesn't have to be a bad thing. When we talk about green and clean, things that are, you know, using better processes for the environment, better fabrics for the environment. If it's custom made, you know, so if you're only making one of something versus 6,000 t-shirts, you can cut down on your waste. When we talk about timeless designs, so you can buy it and have it for 6 years and it's going to be good. So kind of shopping smart, thinking about how much life can you get out of this, the quality of things. The better it's made, the longer it's going to last, the less you can buy. You buy one great t-shirt, wear that for 5 years, that's one t-shirt you're not buying for another 5 years. That still counts. That's another t-shirt that might not have to be made for you. We're also talking about repairing, redesigning, or upcycling, so that kind of DIY section of things. And also, yeah, if you do want to buy, fair and ethical. Can we find brands that are doing their part to ensure that people, the environment, and animals are being treated the way they should be? That kind of thing. So, what are we looking for? You know, for right now, I did buy some clothes, but that's Hannah with lipsticks section, so I will leave that to her. So, you know, but before we get that, I want to talk about, like, I did buy clothes. Well, Hannah with lipstick bought clothes, sorry. It gets confusing. She bought clothes, you know, so I want to talk to you about how do you know what to look for. You know, if you're going to buy clothes, you know, we aren't talking about a secondhand or DIY, and we're talking about, you know, either it's going to a store or online, what kind of things are you supposed to look for? It can be hard. So just if you're looking for, because I guess a guide, you know, I'm going to go over some things briefly, but Sustainable Jungle has a lot of quick links to things you can look for that are more in-depth, because obviously there's a lot. Fashion is a big industry, so when we talk about sustainable and ethical, there are a lot of layers to it. So if you really want to dive deep and know all you can, I will link that below. But just for the quick little snapshot, you know, what I say is transparency. Transparency is key. You should be able to go on websites or go into a store, and they should have their mission, their about, they should have it front and center. You know, if it actually is sustainable and ethical, they wouldn't be hiding it. They aren't going to be hiding it. You know, if you go on Gucci, you're not going to see much about going green or, you know, fair treatment of animals. And we aren't here to hate on brands, but at the end of the day, we also aren't going to pretend that Gucci would be sustainable or even ethical, you know, because we've seen their products show up in sweatshops, right? So I wouldn't call that front and center. I would not call that a front and center brand. But maybe if you look at a brand like Tentree, is right on their website, where they're getting their fabric, what their mission is about. That's homepage type of stuff. And that's what I mean about transparency. You shouldn't have to look too hard to find it. If it is true, you know, still do your research, but it is a good place to start. You know, if you go onto a website and you really aren't sure and just want to get a quick look at it, go, you should be able to see on their front page their about our mission, that kind of thing, and they're going to tell you how exactly they're about ethical and sustainable, how they're going about it, that kind of thing. So that's what I mean by transparency. If you have to dig, that's red flag maybe, you know what I'm saying? And all this, sometimes, you know, a good way to check, because anybody can put anything on their website, a quick Google search. I'll type in brands and put scandal or ethical. And if it's not, you know, we're going to have other people who are reporting on it who are going to tell you. There's also Good on You, and they're basically a directory for brands. They don't have all of them, but they have a good amount, and they rate based on plant, animal, and people, their treatment of those things, or their care, or their ways to minimize the impact on those things. And basically they'll give things like a avoid, great, good, it's a good start type of rating for the company in terms of, like, again, how they're doing with the treatment of those things, you know. So it's kind of like Google, but for ethical brands. And they gather their company gathers their own information. You know, they get stuff from the company themselves and third party companies like the Fashion Transparency Index, the Climate Change and Water Security Project. So at the end of the day, they are doing their research. Yeah. And last but not least, what time are we at? Ooh, 27. My videos end up so long. I hope you guys enjoy these. I'm kind of throwing a lot of information at you, but I am going to be putting a Google Doc there just so if you want to review any of it, get the links to any of these websites. Yes, but consumer guilt, that's the last thing I want to talk to you about. For me, like, the more I learned about how my fashion habits impacted the environment, I really did feel guilty. I wanted to throw out my whole closet. I was just like, oh my gosh, like, ugh. You know, it's hard to not feel bad about it, just not feel guilty about it. But I just want to tell you that guilt does not have to be a bad thing. It can be a great source of change and inspiration for you, a great motivator, if you will. You know, if you feel guilty, that is, I feel like, a good thing. You have a conscience, you know, you should maybe be a little bit, you know, when you find out how the ways that we can shop and buy clothes can affect things, you know. So I just think, don't ignore the guilt, embrace it, and make changes little by little where you can, you know. So money is obviously a big factor for a lot of people in terms of, like, why they don't shop ethical, that kind of thing. And I understand that, you know. I'm not gonna act like my financial situation is it ain't the Ritz over here. It's not the Ritz over here. So, but that's okay, you know. Sometimes some, I guess, options or things that are ways that I have tried to, you know, make improvements to how I shop is, you know, thrift. Can you DIY? You know, like, upscale, take something and make it new, and quality over quantity. You know, when I do shop, or at least now, I try to, I'll save up, set aside some money, and I might buy some pricey items, but I know they're good items. If an item is like, I don't even know, $100 for a pair of pants, wow, that might be pricey. But it's like, if I know that the labor is fair, I know that the fabrics that they're using are better for the environment, and I'm gonna have those pants for 7 years, 100 divided by 7 years, like, I consider an investment. And that's why I try to shop less and shop well, right? So it's like, when I do have enough money set aside and I do shop, I'm, you know, that's not money lost, that's money well spent, because I'm not going to be spending money on clothes again for however long. I know I'm going to have them for however long, that kind of thing. So, you know, something to consider. And also, sometimes just use what you have. Maybe something that means cutting down on the amount of money we spend on clothes and where we buy clothes. I understand it's hard to look away from those Forever 21 deals, you know, but it's like, use what you have. You know, maybe you can skip that Forever 21 sale and just wear clothes that you do have, instead of buying more if you aren't able to buy from brands that are, you know, I guess, ethical, sustainable, that kind of thing. You know, and I don't say this to guilt you or to make you feel bad or feel like you shouldn't shop. Like, I just say this so you know, so you consider in your mind, is there anything you can do, you know, just so you know what's going on. As I said before, knowledge is important. Educating yourself is important, you know, but we don't want to stress about it. We don't want to be depressed about it, but it's just, you know, right? And I'm doing my best to try and give you options for how you can make changes to your life, whether you have a big budget or a little budget. And now it's up to you to decide what you want to do, what you don't want to do. But at least you're doing it with the full knowledge. You know the full weight of either of your choices, you know, whatever you should choose. So wow, this video is kind of long, but now we are going to switch it over to Hannah with lipstick so she can talk about what she's in the market for, what she ended up buying, how much money she spent. It'll be a good time, and I will see you, well, next Friday, I guess. Bye. Hello, we are here. We are going to do some shopping now. I want to thank Hannah with lipstick for everything she said about Breonna Taylor. It is very true. I think just do what you can. And I'm also happy that you guys are now up to speed on sustainable and ethical fashion. And again, just doing what you can, right? So we are going to talk about my style. As you can see in these photos, it might seem like it's all over the place. It low-key is. Like, I just kind of want to dress for my mood, and I have a lot of moods. So I guess to put it, look, it might not look like it has anything in common, but what I'm looking for is simple but with a statement piece. That's the style I'm going for, and that's what a lot of these have. These are either exactly what I'm looking for, something simple, like the one girl, she has just the plain white shirt, but then her statement piece is her pants. But what I'm looking for, my budget right now is 500 smackaroonies, okay? Again, like I said, aside from the fact that I also gained weight during quarantine, so not only do none of my clothes fit me, like I'm not kidding when I tell you I'm down to like one pair of pants, 2 sweatpants. One of them I can't wear to work, so I have 2 pants right now. And I have like about 5 shirts ish that are on the fitting side, but they're spaghetti straps, so I can't wear them to work. So it's been a struggle. It really has. But you know what, I said let me just wait, and also not only was I waiting to get a job so I could have money to spend, boy do I have expensive tastes. The things that I bought do not even come close to the things that I wanted to buy. I still bought stuff I liked, but the stuff that I looked at and I was like, wow, I'm in love. It was like starting price $100 and up. Like if I had bought the things, I would have ended up buying like 2 items, 3 items maybe, because we also have to factor in the cost of shipping. So it was just like stressful, you know, finding clothes like for my body type as well as what I was looking for. Is more so like finding like the statement pieces I was looking for. That's what was hard, because again, like a lot of the silhouettes that I even showed you on Pinterest and things like that, apparently it's not cheap. I don't know, maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places, but boy, yeah. So I did 500 because again, I'm trying to restart my wardrobe, so I think it's like a good, you know, a good amount, because I'm looking to try and get a sweater, maybe 4 pants. I would like 5 shirts, 2 long sleeve, 3 other shirts, and then 1 item that's like just for fun. You know, 2020's been hard. Mama deserves a treat, okay? So that's what we were looking for. When I tell you, I didn't walk away with everything I wanted, and I also went over budget. So I have 0 regrets. Low-key a little bit though, because now my laptop is broken, so I was like, you know, maybe I feel like I shouldn't have bought the clothes, but at the same time, when I tell you I needed them, like I really did. Like, oh my god, it's a struggle. So where did I shop, you might be asking? I went on Lucy and Yak. I used the Good On You directory that Hannah without lipstick mentioned, so they had a good rating and like a mid price point, so kind of like they're like 25 starting price point, like 25 and up kind of price point. That's like mid range for me. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. They are a UK company, so I was looking at their prices in Canadian, so that definitely factored into the price. But what did I buy? I got a pair of jeans from there. They're the Brooke wide leg organic twill jeans in indigo. And sorry, just to note, we were talking about sustainable fashion, so obviously I was looking for brands that were sustainable and ethical in terms of labor, treatment of animals, the types of fabrics they were using, the dyes, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Sustainable doesn't have to be expensive, and there were a lot of websites, the ones I'm gonna put in the Google Docs, that were lower price points that were just as good, but they just weren't what I wanted. I'm picky, you know. Champagne taste, McDonald's budget. That's what I've learned about myself, and I just, what can you do? What can a girl do, you know? So the jeans that I got were $88. To me, not bad. Jeans are always expensive. Jeans are always expensive. Levi, Lucky Brand, Guess, like, you know. I mean, personally, most jeans that I've seen, again, are starting at, you know, I mean, if we're talking good quality jeans, I feel like 30 bucks, you know. Yeah, you can get your, yeah, 30 unless they're on sale. Like, jeans are not cheap. Sorry. I just went on a jean rant. I got the Machu cargo pants in black. Those are organic cotton. Those are 67. And then I got the Sundays collection, same type of cargo pant, but they're dusted clay, and those are organic cotton, and those are $67 as well. Personally, I don't think those are bad price points. I feel like pants are expensive in general, and again, for me, when I was shopping, I really was thinking of like quality over quantity. I got a couple of items, right? And yeah, they, I guess, could, for me at least, a bit more on the expensive side. But if I'm gonna have these pants for 5 years plus, however much I spent divided by the amount of years I'm gonna have these, that's investment. I got a Zola longer length boxy cut organic tee in purple sage. They have like a low impact dye. It was $36. You might be saying $36 for a t-shirt. Let me tell you something. H&M will be out here selling t-shirts for $24, right? So I spent like about like $15 more, but I know that one, it's good quality, and two, I'm buying something that's gonna have less of an impact than, say, that H&M $24 shirt. And trust me when I tell you, you will not see me buying clothes like till next year. I might have to get some more. I didn't get any long sleeve t-shirts, and it's gonna be winter and I live in Canada. I did get some sweaters, but like I might end up buying some long sleeve t-shirts after this, just so I don't die. But other than that, like, investment pieces, baby. And what else do I got? I got a Sundays collection. It's a black cropped fleece in artisan's gold, wheat, and aqua. They're so fancy. So it's fleece made from recycled plastic bottles, and it was $71. So that's what I got from Lucy and Yak. And then the second thing I bought is from Saizu. I don't know how to say that. This one I just had to research on my own because they weren't on the Good On You directory. But it is low to medium price point, like, because they have like some basics like the t-shirts, so like, you know, $15 and up. And I researched this brand on my own, and they kind of, again, are more on the fabric side of things, like using more organic biodegradable fabrics. And if it's something organic biodegradable, that kind of thing. And organic just means like no pesticides, you're watching your water use, land use, you know. That's what their, I guess, their selling points are. Their sustainable and ethical selling points are. So my for fun item, I got glow book earrings. They're so cute. First of all, their jewelry section, I could have dropped $500 just buying jewelry. The restraint that I had, oh boy. They're made out of brass and they're $35. Honestly, I feel like maybe this one was a bit expensive, but again, my ears can't do cheap earrings. Like, even these, I probably, like, I can't wear these for too long because they're fake. But I was like, you know what, Hannah, do yourself a favor and have one piece of jewelry that's not fake. And I decided it would be these earrings. I got a V-neck silk blouse. It's made out of silk crepe de chine. I don't know if I said that properly, but basically silk is organic because it's made from silkworms, so we love that. But also, we also have to be careful of our treatment of silkworms because, I mean, it's still worm, but still, like, we got to be nice to the worms. So that's one thing they talked about in the articles I read, is like their process. And that was $45 for a blouse. I feel like not bad. And also I love the blue color. I got their tank. It's made out of tencel, and that's basically I don't really know how to describe Tencel. Tencel is like, it's made from wood pulp, but there are some like chemical or man-made aspects to get the final product of Tencel, but it's still in terms of water use and like sorry, my voice is all over the place, so don't mind the cracks. Ugh. In terms of water use in the actual process itself, it's still like way like 0 to minimal like I guess toxic chemicals, you know, greenhouse gases, like that kind of thing. So Tencel is basically, if we're talking man-made fabrics, this is definitely one of the better ones, and it will degrade. It's biodegradable, so we aren't gonna have landfill situations. So I bought a tank from that. It's $15. Like honestly, I feel like tank tops $15, that's a basic price. I also got this Sarah cardigan. It's made of cotton yarn and it is $65. I love the color. The back has like an interesting design to it, and honestly I love cardigans so much. Okay, so that's what I bought. And how much money did I end up spending, you ask? I ended up going 150 over budget, but that's for shipping because of the stuff I got from the UK. So I had to pay like duties on it, so that's included in the price. And also like all the other shipping like fees from like Saizu and, you know, just in general. So it was 150 over. Honestly, not that bad. I always go over budget. Like it's that's me. You know, I just don't know what happens. But this time it really was just because of shipping fees and also like conversion costs, because I did buy from that one UK company. So this time, not that bad. I'm so excited for all my items. I love them. I don't know when I'll be trying them on and showing them to you guys because again, like shipping delays. So fingers crossed. Yeah, again, like I said, investment pieces. I don't think for the items that I got and the quality, I don't think it was a bad price for anything. You know, I hope I wasn't scammed and it's actually bad, but all the reviews look good. I took a risk, but I think it's really gonna pay off. And again, as someone who literally has no clothes, and this is not an understatement, I think this is good. It's an investment. I'm gonna have these pieces for a very long time, and damn, yeah. What else? I have like a little conclusion list. Too broke for the stuff I really want. As I said, champagne taste, McDonald's ass budget. Check out that Google. I don't know if it's just going to be a bunch of links or a Google Doc. I say Google Doc. I don't think it's that complicated to make one. But we're gonna see. I've just been having bad luck with shit, so we gonna see. I feel like that's everything. I want to know what you thought of the items. Did you feel it was too expensive? Do you feel like I was ripped off? Do you like these items? Would you shop here? Let me know, you know. I don't mind. In this house, we don't mind light roasting. So go for it. Let me know what you thought. Do you think I have good taste? I don't know if I'll be prepared for that answer, but shit, I probably gonna tell me anyways, so yeah, I'm interested to know. Fashion Fridays, again, we are doing some changes because my laptop quit on me. She gave up on me. She gave up on me, and I wish she didn't, but she did. So sorry, I just keep thinking about it. It's just making me so depressed. I was actually really excited for the next scenario that we were gonna do. RIP, because you're gonna have to wait for it. But yeah, this is so long and I never know how to end my videos, so just bye, subscribe. I'll see you next Friday.